Few people remember the Standard Atlas today, and that's a shame, because this unusual British van may have been one of the earliest ancestors of the modern minivan. Decades before vehicles like the Chrysler Voyager, Renault Espace, or Ford Transit Connect appeared, the Standard Motor Company was already experimenting with a compact people and cargo carrier that maximized interior space in ways that seemed remarkably futuristic for the late 1950s. Looking at the Atlas today, it appears simple and unassuming, but beneath its boxy body was an engineering philosophy that was years ahead of its time. In fact, if you parked a Standard Atlas next to many modern compact vans, you would quickly realize that the basic formula hasn't changed much in more than 60 years. The Atlas wasn't designed to impress with speed or luxury. Instead, it was built to solve practical problems, and in doing so, it quietly became one of Britain's most innovative commercial vehicles. The story began during the post-war economic boom of the 1950s. Britain was rebuilding, businesses were expanding, and demand for light commercial vehicles was growing rapidly. Shopkeepers needed delivery vans, tradesmen required mobile workshops, and local authorities were searching for practical utility vehicles. The market was already crowded. The Morris J-Type, Bedford CA, Volkswagen Transporter, and Ford Thames were all competing for customers. The Standard Motor Company could easily have copied one of these successful designs, but its engineers decided to pursue a completely different approach. Their objective was simple: create a vehicle that offered maximum interior volume while maintaining compact exterior dimensions. To accomplish this, they adopted a layout that was still highly unusual for commercial vehicles of the era: front-wheel drive. When the Standard Atlas was introduced in 1958, it immediately stood out from the competition. Unlike most British vans, which used conventional rear-wheel drive layouts, the Atlas sent power to the front wheels. This decision provided several important advantages. Without a drive shaft running underneath the floor, engineers could lower the cargo area significantly. This not only made loading and unloading easier, but also increased the available interior space. The low floor height was especially appreciated by delivery drivers who spent all day climbing in and out of their vehicles. It may sound ordinary today, but in the late 1950s, this represented genuinely advanced thinking. Many historians now consider the Atlas one of the earliest British vehicles to embrace packaging concepts that would eventually become standard throughout the entire commercial vehicle industry. The Atlas was available in numerous configurations. Customers could purchase a panel van, pickup truck, chassis cab, minibus, estate conversion, camper, ambulance, or specialized utility vehicle. Depending on the body style, the vehicle measured approximately 14.3 feet in length, 6 feet in width, and stood around 6.6 feet high. Wheelbase measured approximately 7.5 feet, while curb weight ranged from roughly 2,500 to 3,100 pounds. Despite these relatively compact dimensions, the Atlas offered an impressive amount of usable space. This was particularly important in Britain's narrow towns and cities, where maneuverability often mattered more than outright size. The large glass area also provided excellent visibility, an important feature for drivers working in congested urban environments. Power initially came from Standard's familiar 948 cubic centimeter overhead valve inline four-cylinder gasoline engine, an engine already proven in the company's passenger cars. Producing approximately 37 horsepower, it wasn't particularly powerful, but it was reliable, economical, and easy to maintain. As customer expectations increased, Standard introduced larger engines. By 1961, buyers could choose a 1,213 cubic centimeter four-cylinder developing around 48 horsepower, while later models offered a 1,670 cubic centimeter engine producing approximately 51 horsepower. Power was delivered through a 4-speed manual transmission driving the front wheels. Top speed varied depending on specification, but generally ranged between 55 and 65 miles per hour, more than sufficient for a light commercial vehicle operating primarily on local roads. One fascinating aspect of the Atlas was its driving experience. Contemporary road tests often described it as more car-like than many rival vans. The front-wheel drive layout improved traction under certain conditions, particularly when the vehicle was lightly loaded. Drivers also appreciated the low seating position and excellent forward visibility. However, the innovative design wasn't without drawbacks. The front-wheel drive system was more mechanically complex than the rear-wheel drive arrangements used by competitors, and some early vehicles experienced reliability issues, especially when heavily overloaded. Yet many owners considered these compromises worthwhile because of the Atlas's practicality and ease of use. The Atlas also found employment in a surprising variety of roles. Postal services, utility companies, local governments, and private businesses all operated these vehicles. Some examples were converted into mobile shops, while others served as ambulances or police transport vehicles. Camper conversions became particularly popular because the Atlas offered generous interior volume within relatively modest exterior dimensions. Looking at surviving examples today, it's easy to see why enthusiasts sometimes describe the Atlas as a precursor to the modern MPV. Decades before the term existed, standard engineers had already recognized the value of combining passenger comfort, cargo capacity, and compact dimensions in a single versatile package. Unfortunately, the standard Atlas entered one of the most competitive markets in Britain. The company itself was undergoing significant changes, and in 1960, Standard became part of Leyland Motors. The vehicle was subsequently renamed the Leyland Atlas, but its days were already numbered. Production eventually ended in 1963 as newer commercial vehicle programs took priority. Although its production run was relatively short, the Atlas left behind an important legacy. Many of the ideas it pioneered, front-wheel drive, low cargo floors, efficient packaging, and multi-purpose body styles, would later become industry standards. Today, surviving standard Atlas vans are exceptionally rare. Commercial vehicles usually lead difficult lives, and many were simply worked until they wore out. Those that survive are treasured by collectors not only because of their rarity, but because they represent an important chapter in British automotive history. The Atlas reminds us that some of the most influential vehicles are not glamorous sports cars or luxurious limousines, but hard-working machines designed to make everyday life easier. And if you enjoy discovering forgotten vans, unusual engineering solutions, and remarkable vehicles that quietly changed automotive history, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because many more incredible automotive stories are still ahead.